All right, hello, friends. Once again, it's your friend, Mr. McCarthy, coming back with some sixth grade math action for you in Unit 13, talking about properties of triangles and four-sided figures. Just give you a little heads up, like Chapter 12, this is going to be, not so much number crunching and a lot more puzzling and logic and problem solving. So, different way of thinking, fun for some, maddening for others, but we're going to give it a shot and we're going to do the best that we can. All right, let's do this. So the big ideas are that the properties of geometric figures, shapes. So we're going to know the properties of geometric figures. We're going to talk about the relationships among angles and sides in each figure. And then we're also going to talk about how triangles and four-sided figures have their own special properties, which we'll go through. It's a lot of stuff that it's not in context right now, so it doesn't make a ton of sense, but I'll make it make sense. Okay, so let's get into our warm-up. This is us going through and looking back at the stuff that we should know to get started on this bad boy. All right. Tangrams. Did you guys do tangrams in fourth grade? Tangrams is a puzzle that you can form by cutting a square into 7 pieces like that, and you can make all sorts of other shapes with tangrams. Your teacher may or may not have those available. You may or may not have them at home. I haven't done tangrams in a long time, but it's cool to see. All right. Check out some of those other shapes. Let me get my handsome self out of the way. I always tend to kind of interfere with the learning action. That's a good spot. So our first lesson, we're going to talk about types of triangles. Then we're going to measure angles in a triangle. We're going to talk about classifying triangles in a different way, right? Isosceles and equilateral. Scaling should be in there too. Triangle inequalities, which would be interesting, comparing triangles. And then we're going to talk about parallelograms, rhombus, and trapezoids. And hopefully we're talking about that before MCAs, but maybe not. We'll see. All right. Boom. Is that it? Come on. Okay. So, classifying polygons. A polygon is a shape that has sides made up of line segments. Okay. Triangle, polygon with 3 sides and 3 angles. Parallelogram, 4-sided figure in which the opposite sides are parallel. Now, some of these definitions overlap. Is this rectangle down here a parallelogram? Well, yeah, it says it's a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Okay, the parallelogram is just 2 sets of parallel sides. The rectangle is a parallelogram where it has right angles. Okay, and then we'll get to square. Square is going to be interesting. A rhombus is a parallelogram where all the sides are equal. So if you go back, the rectangle is the parallelogram with all angles equal. Rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides equal. And a square is like a rectangle and a rhombus put together. All sides and all angles are the same. I've never described it that way in how many years of teaching, and it makes the most sense to me all of a sudden. Okay, so a square is a square, is a square, is a rectangle, a square is a rhombus, a square is a parallelogram. All right, rhombus again. Look at this. This is a specific definition, so don't be freaking out every time you see sort of a diamond shape and call it a rhombus, because that's not the case. And finally, a trapezoid's got 4 sides, and just one set of those sides is parallel. The other set would intersect at some point if the lines went on forever. Okay, the last unit, what you did is you used information about angles to find measures of angles you don't know. What you'll recall is that angles on a line add up to 180 degrees, okay? So A plus B plus C is going to be 180. Okay, we know that. This is a little bit of algebra down here. When we talk about writing number sentences, we're usually talking about writing equations. And equations is based on the word equal. If you take out the equal sign and put in a greater than or less than sign, your equations are now inequalities. Just like a sentence is a sentence and a question is a question, if you change, each one is a complete thought, but if you change the punctuation, you change its purpose and its name. Okay, so imagine like you're trading a period for a question mark. So if x is 10, then x plus 15 is less than 35. If x is 25, x plus 15 is greater than 35. And then if x equals 20, x plus 15 equals 35. Can't remember where that comes into place here, but I'm sure it's useful. Okay, this one here, just asking you to name the sides and name the angles. Pause me because I'm going to do this in about 5 seconds after you work, and restart me. Okay, pause. All right, did you get all these written down? The sides are PQ, and I put and you can use QP, that's, either way, QR, and I like putting the line segment symbol above it, and PR, okay? And you could, and those could go in either order. The angles are angle P, angle Q, and angle R, or I'd be more inclined to do, okay, that is angle QPR. Notice how P is my vertex in the middle. Then I've got angle PRQ. Again, the big thing is having R in the middle. You could switch the P and the Q, it doesn't matter. And then this one here is angle PQR, okay? Or RQP. Again, your vertex is in the middle of that. So I actually wouldn't even do this. Forget that I did that. And remember I did that. All right, let's go. Ooh. Hang on, McCarthy. Is there a vocabulary page here? Let's see. Can you do this without vocabulary? Let me pause this for a second. I might go get a vocabulary snippet. Just wait. All right. I'm old and confused. That led me to tell you lies. I was thinking of this as a chapter review, and it's not. So you have access to the slides. You can flip back to the previous slides and look up the responses for these. I'm going to try and do them off the top of my head, and we'll see how I do. But pause me. Use the link to the slides to flip back and take a look, and then fill this out either in your book or in Pear Deck or however your teacher wants you to do it, or however you're doing it at home. Okay? And then I'll start doing it in about 5 seconds here. 4, 3. Pause me if you haven't, then restart me when you're done. 2, 1, go. All right, the opposite. Let's see. Don't judge. Sides of a parallelogram are parallel. The measure of each rectangle is 90 degrees. I'm not doing the little degree sign because I'm just using my text tool, but parallelogram with 4 right angles is a rectangle. Is it also a square? Maybe, but we don't know that unless we know about the sides. The 4 sides of the square are of equal length. Each angle of a square is a right angle. A rectangle with 4 sides of equal lengths is a square. The 4 sides of a rhombus are of equal length, and the trapezoid has only one pair of opposite sides that is parallel. Right? Oops, I got really excited about parallel, didn't I? All right, let's see. And let's get me on the last slide. Sorry about the little tiny screen there. Why don't you pause me and do these? I think you can do this stuff. Look back at your previous slides if you need to. I'm going to restart here in 5 seconds. Okay, so in this guy here, key information on this first one is that, and hopefully you learned this in the last chapter, that there's often some sort of a sentence there that's very helpful. So in this case, we learned that AB is a line. So sometimes, especially when I'm working on my device, I like to highlight. So I know that's a line. And then once I know that's a line, my problems down here are asking me for what is 180 degrees. Well, I know that's 180, and I know that's 180. So I'm going to say that angle BOD and angle AOD for one of those. And then I'll say angle AOC. Hey, that's a person, at least in current times. I don't know how long down the road this is going to be for you guys. And angle COB. Again, notice how they all have O in the middle because that's the vertex. Okay? If x is 5, then x minus 2 is less than 10. If x is 20, x plus 5 is greater than 15. If x is 30, then x plus 10 equals 40. Inequality equation. I think that's it. Yeah, check it out. Your teacher may or may not have homework for you. If anything, I'd suggest going and checking out the IXL lessons for Chapter 13 and working on some of those. And we'll come back at you tomorrow with some triangle action. That's it, friends. Bye-bye.